From one of the world's great food-loving nations, seriously good food. Sausages, sauerkraut, sauerbraten, spätzle, and those are just the S's. Welcome to the warm, wonderful, comforting world of German food. In a culture that takes eating and drinking very seriously, the beers and wines of Germany are exceptional. And like other European cultures, you'd never think of drinking without eating. So tell me about when German people have beer.
Always after after work, just on parties, like the Australians.
Yeah.
We really enjoy it, and I think we have the best beer.
Okay. Chef Stefan Castell from Bavarian Beer Cafe says the purity of German beer is something every German is proud of.
I mean, there are many different kind of glasses and for different beers, and I mean, this beer, for example, you really have to drink it out of a glass like that. It doesn't taste good out of a bottle or out of another glass, but in Bavaria they have more the heavier beers, and they drink it more from bigger glasses.
So if we're meeting for a drink, how many beers would we have?
I can only stand 3 beers, and then my colleagues, they are laughing about me sometimes.
Oh, really? That's not good by German standards.
Because all the Australians, they expect from Germans that you can drink a lot, so...
Okay.
Cheers. Prost. Do you like it?
That's a really nice beer.
It's perfect.
In Germany, bread really is the stuff of life. It's eaten 3 times a day. And these are serious loaves, wonderfully heavy and sustaining.
German breads are just not wimpy white breads. They're just, you know, full of structure. They're heavy. They got substance.
Heart and soul.
That's right.
Pretzels are synonymous with the southern German region of Bavaria. Their shape's said to represent a person's arms folded in prayer.
They're meant to be a priest with crossed over hands like that.
Oh, yeah.
Usually it's down in the south. They eat it in the evening with a beer.
And you've got that nice sort of salty wash that you put on once they're baked, eh?
No, before baking.
Oh, before baking. That would go very well. Over the centuries, Germany's farmland has been so rich and its meat so abundant that butchers were faced with the problem of how to store parts of an animal that were not going to be consumed immediately. A rich tradition of smoking and sausage making grew and prospered. Pork is the meat loved above all others and is used extensively in the many different sausage types. You've got to love a culture that takes its cake so seriously that it becomes an integral part of everyday life. In Germany, people stop for coffee and cake every afternoon.
Oh, yes, that's
Yeah.
a typical German tradition, you know. The Germans must have their coffee and cake in the afternoon around 3 o'clock, you know. That's when they get desperate, you know.
Desperate. Alex Schwartz started his bakery in the Blue Mountains west of Sydney almost 30 years ago. He's now joined by his son Nicholas.
What's that?
When I go see my grandma and stuff, you know, they all come around and every single one of them brings a different kind of cake and then the whole table full of different stuff. But it is huge. It is a big tradition over there, and it is too between the older ladies, like my grandma and her friends, always fighting over who makes the better one.